Well, hello. Good morning, or afternoon, or evening, depending on when you're watching this. I'm coming to you from Electric Avenue, my record shop, in my new release corner. Um, sort of like trying to get out the word about what is happening for Record Store Day. So, after being canceled in April, then moving it to June, being canceled in June. They promised us 3 record store day drops. I certainly had hoped that the country would have been in better health situation by this point, that we could have done a regular line in the store. However, after much hemming and hawing, we've decided to do a virtual line. Okay? So, what does this mean? I'm going to go through the process for our store. Um, and, if it's a complete bust and people hate it, we'll come up with another plan for the next one or junk it or whatever. But I feel like we have to give this a shot to try and keep everybody as safe and healthy as possible. I know that we're in a state where our numbers have sort of been down, and that's great. While I still have a lot of trepidation as I look around the country and I see what's going on. And just as a side note, there's a restaurant that's very local. I'm talking within, like, you know, walking distance, that has been closed now for a week because one of the employees came into contact with someone who tested positive. And so, as a precautionary measure, they shut the restaurant down. And I don't really want to have to do that. I think our customers have been pretty vigilant. Everyone's been wearing masks. So I think, I don't want to have a parade of people walking through the store if I don't have to. And I think a lot of my customers probably feel similarly. There are some people who were reluctant to shop anyway because they didn't like big crowds or big lines. So, hey, this one's for you. Um, it takes away the camaraderie of being in a line and talking to people, but on the same token, are people really that great in self policing their 6 foot social distancing? Probably. You just can't trust what's going on with people outside the door. And so I figure rather than leading people through here, possibly exposing everyone else that comes through in line, this is the best policy. It's not going to be popular with a lot of people because they're going to think that it's like, you know, um, too much precaution. I'd rather err on the side of precaution than risk people's health. And I have an immune compromised person I live with, so I think these are important precautions. And it's not just health we're talking about, it's possible death. And I know that that's a very small percentage, but still, it's a risk, and it's a risk that I don't really want to take. I know other stores will probably do the same old, and if you want to go there, I understand. However, I think you might be happy with this process as long as you know what you're doing. So here's what you need to do, okay? We've kind of been planning this for a while, so bear with me while I discuss this. So, by the way, all this information is posted on our Facebook page. I know many of you don't use Facebook, but you can still look up the page and read the information. You don't have to be a member of Facebook to read this, okay? So, first of all, I would say go to the Record Store Day website. If you have not, familiarize yourself with what's coming out on that list. There are two ways to look at it on the Record Store Day website. One is as a PDF, which just kind of lists everything in alphabetical order. I find that a little confusing because the dates of the 3 dates are all sort of mixed together. I would recommend looking at the tiled view where they show the pictures, because that way at least you know what is coming out on each individual Record Store Day drop. All right? Now, after you do that, the thing that you need to do is starting on Friday, August 28th, which is the day before the Record Store Day drop begins, at noon on Friday, 12 noon, 12 o'clock p.m., I want you to send an email to this address, eamrsd@gmail.com. It's a special email address that we've set up specifically for this. Electric Avenue Music Record Store Day at gmail.com. Okay? If I'd been really on top of it, I would have just created a template and, that sort of escaped me, all right? But what I would like you to do, send an email to that address. In that, please include your name, all right, your mobile phone number or way that we can reach you in case there's a problem or you're not here, your vehicle info, which is the make, model, and color of the vehicle that you are going to be most likely arriving in, and your wish list. Okay, these are the RSD items that you're most interested in. This does not, unfortunately, guarantee that you're going to get everything on your list. This is just a wish list. You can add things to that list if you think that there's something in stock regular that you would want to get, like the Stooges Live or Art Blakey's new reissue of an unreleased record from 60 years ago. Those can be added to it. I just want you to know that we're going to do the best that we can to, we've already ordered all the product. So it will kind of be first come, first serve, just like if you were in line in the store. But these are wish lists, so again, nothing is guaranteed, nothing can be held in advance, nothing can be reserved. That's just the RSD rules that they've always had. So just to make that perfectly clear, after reviewing your email, we will send you a confirmation email that will also probably have a confirmation number in there, which you'll want to save that email. You should get it within a few minutes, okay? It will give you your designated time for curbside shopping on Saturday, August 29th. We will start that at 8 o'clock a.m., which is the time that we've always been able to start those things. So again, please note your wish list does not guarantee that RSD item will be available by the time you get here for your designated time. It's just your place in line, okay? This way, we're not getting a crush of cars all at once, which is sort of what usually happens on Record Store Day. So in this case, you're not actually having to compete with a ton of other traffic. But we do ask that you please park as close to the front of the store as possible, just so we know where you're at. At this point, when we see you pull up, a store representative will come out and collect your information, make sure that you have the correct confirmation number and such, and they will return to the store to pick the available items. Take a couple minutes. They'll return to your car and give you a total, we'll let you know, and at that point we'll process your sale. We appreciate if you use a debit or a credit card. I think if you're using debit cards right now, they don't necessarily require a signature. So if you're using a credit card, you may have to sign something. We will be masked. We will be wearing gloves. We will sanitize in between each customer. And in a case of if you don't have a pen or something, we'll probably just send you with the pen, because I don't think we'll want it back. All right, anyway, once the payment is complete, your items will then be delivered to your car. Please double check your items before driving off to make sure that you have what you paid for. And we also ask that you limit one request or one item of the RSD list per customer. That means you can pick 10 things on the list, but only one of each. Now, what will happen is that at noon, the store will open for browsing, okay? So that's 4 hours of a virtual line before the store actually opens. When it opens, whatever is remaining, you are free to buy whatever is remaining. If you'd like to come back and look at other product, that's fine. We will limit the numbers of people, though, in the store at any given time. So 8 people at a time with a 15-minute shopping limit. So you kind of have to know what you want. You can't just stand in here for a long time exposing people to anything you may have, even if you're asymptomatic. So finally, if you're running late, please call us and let us know when to expect you. If you miss your designated pickup time and do not reschedule by 11 a.m., you'll have to wait until we open at noon and just come as a regular person would. If you're not interested in the RSD items and you just want to shop regular inventory, at noon is fine, or later. You don't all have to come at noon if you'd rather not be here when a bunch of other people are here. But for your safety and ours, we do require that everyone will wear a mask or face covering. Everyone will definitely be using hand sanitizer or having gloves before touching everything, because you don't want to pick up something that somebody else has, even if they're saying now that there's less transmission that way than what they originally thought. We just want to stay safe, people. So if you have any questions, you can give us a call in advance. The number is if you Google the store, if you look at our Facebook page or the website, the phone number is there. I'm not going to bother with that here. So the most important reminder, I think, at this point is to get ready to email us so that we're ready to go with the virtual line on Saturday morning. So Friday at noon, email this address. I'll say it one more time. All right. And what do you put in that? Your name, your mobile phone number, your vehicle info, make, model, and color, and your wish list. Got it? Okay, this was extremely tough to come up with this stuff. It wouldn't seem like it is, but there are numerous record store day rules involving holds and that sort of thing. We didn't want to risk any kind of problem in the future where they would want to say well, you're breaking the rules, so you can't do it anymore. That would be terrible. But on the other side, we don't want to risk people's health, like I've mentioned before. And it's kind of like they're putting you in a situation where they want you to deliver everything that you can and have it every way. And it's really you can't really have it all ways, and you can't make everybody happy. Somebody's going to be upset. There are going to be people that show up at 8 o'clock in the morning or earlier trying to stand in a line on Saturday morning. I will have signs out front, probably multiple signs, saying if you are arriving for the event, you need to get on your device and email us right now to reserve your place in that virtual line, because people will have been already emailing that address since noon the previous day. Now, I realize that is going to be upsetting for some people. I have to tell you that we are living in a society now where it pays to educate yourself about everything in advance. If you really want what you really want and you're committed to it, and you have to do a little bit of the homework. And it sounds harsh saying this stuff. My God. I'm a record store day guy or record store guy. I've loved doing this kind of thing for 30 years now. It's my passion. And people say, why? I'll say it, I maybe said it before. I feel like I'm sort of a facilitator. I'm not really a drug dealer, okay? If the drugs were music, that's one thing, right? But I just love being able to bring something to somebody else. As I was saying to someone yesterday, there are times that I look at something that might come in and I say, oh, I really love that new Ray LaMontagne. I'd love to take it home with me. And then I'm like, you know what? As much as I would want that, I think it would make me happier to see it go home with somebody else who is going to make them really happy before I even consider that. So it's not like I don't have music at home, but there's not much more that gives me more joy than seeing that sort of reaction with people. Some of you may know I'm also a piano teacher, and it's kind of like the feeling I sort of get when I see students excelling and sort of even choosing to go on in like their college career in music somehow. So, um, music is my passion, and so I just really want everyone to have a happy, healthy record store day. I want everyone to be able to come back for the next two record store day drops, maybe three if we have Black Friday. Okay? The rest of the country, I hope, as a society, we can pull things together and get better because it's time to really take this as a health crisis and not a political issue. I'm not going to go down that path, but I do want you all to stay safe, happy, healthy. Enjoy your record store day drop. You've been waiting for these records since April. They've probably been sitting in a warehouse collecting dust this whole time. And unfortunately, you're going to have to wait another month for the next group and then another month for the group after that. Um, that is one thing I sort of question is, well, you're bringing record store day people are bringing maybe the same people by two or three times because of these things, but they're just trying to do a little distancing, I guess. So we'll see what happens. It's the great experiment of 2020, all right? So thank you all very much. I know this was a long video, but I really want you to know what the process will be here. So if you haven't watched the video, you're at the end point here. Tell your friends that they need to watch the video if they haven't watched it, or just read the directions that are on Facebook. I think it's as clear as we're going to be able to make it. But if you have any questions, give us a call. Thank you very much. Hope to see you on the 29th in your car. I may not see you. It might be a representative, but maybe later in the day or sometime over the next few days. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye.